Assalamu alaikum students. So let's go further for the October-November 2019 paper 1-2. The next 4 questions from 5 till 8. So let's see, question number 5 is here. And it says the diagram shows a solid cone with a slant height of 15, the vertical height of h. Show that the volume V is given by this and the volume of the cone formula is here. So first of all, what we would like to go for is that let's find this radius, base radius is needed here. Since it is a right angle triangle over here, so the base radius can be found by using the Pythagoras theorem. That is, so r square is equals to 15 square minus h square. So let's leave it, no need to calculate r because here in the formula I will be using r square as it is. So V is equals to 1 over 3 pi r square h, 1 over 3 pi, and the value of r square is 15 square minus h square into h. Now it is 1 over 3 pi, and when this h will be multiplied over here, this is 15 square is 225 h minus h cube. So this was your first part. Now let's go for the further ones. In question number 5, part 2, says h can vary, for which V has a stationary determinant showing me, okay, for finding the stationary value, what we have to do is that we should be finding the derivative of this, and then by placing it equals to 0 will help us. Since we have the equation V equals to 1 by 3 pi, and it's 225 h minus h cube. So let's find dV by dh pi by 3 as it is. This is 225 because derivative of h is 1 and this is 3h square. Now by placing this equals to 0, pi by 3, to find the stationary value, we will find that 3h square is equals to 225 because this will go over there and become 0. So h square is equals to 75 and h is equals to square root of 75, which gives us a value of almost 8.66. We do not take a negative value because h is the height over here. Now for finding the nature of this, let's go for the second derivative from here. That is d2v over dh square equals to pi by 3 as it is 225 constant, so 0 minus 6h. Now this 3 2s are 6, so it becomes 2 pi h minus. Now by placing this value of 8.66 over here, d2v over dh square minus 2 pi into 8.66, this will give us a negative answer, which shows that it is maximum. So let's go further now. Okay, question 6 says that it's regarding trigonometry. Find the two smallest possible values. So 3 tan 2x plus 1 equals to 1. Tan 2x plus 1 equals to 1 over 3. Since it is positive, so the answer must be lying in the first quadrant, or it must be lying in the third quadrant because tan is positive over there. So let's find 2x plus 1 is equals to tan inverse of 1 over 3, and this gives us 0. By using the calculator, 0.322. First quadrant we write as it is, and in the third quadrant we write it by adding a pi. So when you simplify this, this becomes 2x is equals to pi plus 0.322 minus 1, and it becomes 2.46 and dividing it by 2, we get it 1.23. Now, if you look over here, if we shift this one to that side, this becomes negative. But here we have to look for the values of x positive, so we cannot take it as it is. So let's use the periodic property of 10 and add pi. But since we know we have already added pi, so we have to go for the next periodic value, that is plus pi. So this takes you, by simplification, 2x plus 1 is equals to 6.605. Now subtracting 1 and dividing by 2, this gives us a value of 2.8. So these are the two values of the angles here. Now let's go for the further one. Okay, here it says that you have to express this whole thing in the form of cos. So let's simplify this a little bit. 3 cos square x, no need to change it. And sine square can be written as 1 minus cos square x. So let's simplify this. This is quite an easy question. Minus 2 plus 2 cos square x. And if we simplify it, this becomes 5 cos square x minus 2. Now let's go for the further one. Part 2, it says find the range. And since we have already seen that our function was 5 cos square x minus 2. So for finding the minimum value, this number is supposed to be 0. So cos x equals to 0. By placing cos x equals to 0, this becomes 0 minus 2. So the minimum value is minus 2. And for finding the maximum value, this number is supposed to be 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay. So it's 5 into 1 minus 2, so it's going to be 3. So the range lies between minus 2 and plus 3. Now the next part says, oh, this becomes question number 7 now. Okay, in this it says that find out it says that find out the value of PB and PQ in terms of IJ and K. So if you see PB, so we are actually looking for from here till there. So we have a path that PO plus OA plus AB. And similarly for PQ, we have a path PD, DG and GQ. So let's use this because it's given to us already. So for finding PB, we have a path PO, OA and AB. Now PO is actually the half of this, but the opposite side. So it's going to be minus I minus 5K. And OA is actually 6I. And OC, since it is parallel to the other one, so it's going to be 8J. So if you simplify this, this becomes 5I 8J minus 5K. Now the second one is PQ. So for finding PQ, we have PD, DJ, D and GA, Q. PD, DG and GQ. Now by placing the values, our PD is I and then DG is 3I and 8. Okay. 3i, and the third one is 5k and 8j as it is. So it becomes 4i, 8j and 5k. Now let's go further. The second part, it says whether P is nearer to Q than to B. So let's check the magnitude of PB and PQ. And the magnitude of PB is 5 square, which is 25, 8 square, which is 64, and 5 square is again 25. So it's going to be 1, 1, 4. Whereas the second one is PQ, and the above values let us know that 4 square is 16, 8 square is 64, and 5 square is 25, and this whole thing takes you to 105. So obviously PB is greater and PQ is smaller. So it's closer to Q. Now the third one is there. He is asking you to find out the angle between BPQ. Angle BPQ is needed, and which is the angle between PB and BQ. So PB dot BQ equals to PB magnitude, BQ magnitude, and cos of the angle between them. And by taking the scalar product, we see 5 times 4 is 20, and then 8 times 8 is 64, and minus 5 times 5 is going to be minus 25. And magnitude, we have already found that the PB was having a value of 114, and this was having a value of 105 cos theta. Now if you simplify this, this gives you 59 divided by 114, and 105 is equals to cos theta. So getting cos inverse of 59 over square root 114 square root 105. This gives us a value of 57.4 degree by using the calculator. Now let's go further. The next question may be there. Okay. Over a period of 21 days period, prepares increasing the distance she runs by 20. Okay, runs by. So it's going to be an arithmetic progression in which our A is 13 given to us, our D is 1.2, and how much distance she runs 20 per 1 day period, the last day. So it means 21st day how much she runs. So that is going to be A plus 20D, and A is 13 plus 20 times 1.2, and this gives you, by using the calculator, we are able to know that here she runs 37 kilometers on day 21. Now, if we go further, it says, okay, find the total distance she runs. So it means we are going to find out the sum of the 21 days. So S21, since it is n by 2 means 21 by 2, 2a means 2 into 13 plus n minus 1, 21 minus 1 is going to be 20, and d is 1.2. Now, by placing this whole value in the calculator, we are able to find out that she runs 525 kilometers in all 21 days. Now, if we go for the next one, okay, the first, second, and third term of a geometric progression is x minus 3 and x minus 5. So since it is a geometric progression, so the value of the common ratio must be same by the first two and the next two as well, because the common ratio remains the same. So x minus 3 over x is equals to x minus 5 over x minus 3. So x cross multiplication, x square minus 5x is equals to, by the cross multiplication of this is x square plus 9 minus 6x. This x square cancelled out. By shifting this 6x over here becomes plus 6x. So minus 5x plus 6x becomes only x. So the x is equals to 9, which is the first term. Now, if we go for the next part, find the fourth term of the progression. And since it is geometric, so we can see that a is a4 is equals to ar power 3. Now, if we have found the ar power 3, so the terms are x was 9, so 9 minus 3 is 6, and 9 minus 5 is 4. So a is 9 and r is 6 over 9, which is 2 over 3 power 3. By placing it into the calculator, we can find it that this gives us 8 over 3, or it is 2 over 2 over 3. Now find the sum to infinity. So s infinity is equals to a over 1 minus r. Our a is 9 over 1 minus 2 over 3. And by placing this in the calculator, we will be able to get it is 27. That's all for the questions from 5 to 8. And I hope this would have been a convenience for you to understand the paper well. Take care. See you in the next tutorial, inshallah.